Welcome to sixth grade health. This is lesson 157, as we did 2 lessons last time, and we are looking at pages 107 to 110. I'm going to be reading those pages and doing the quick check on page 110 on paper. And then for homework, you're reading 110 to 112, doing CCU 6C all on paper, okay? And that can be on the same paper with the quick check if you can fit it there. All right, so we are going to be looking at the ear. Last time we were talking about your sense of smell and your sense of taste, the sensory receptors that are in all of that, the olfactory receptors. All right, so today, and then we had the brain, the CD by Uncle Bob Divine about the brain, okay? And so we have our sense of hearing, okay? So if I were to make a sound, could you tell what that sound is, okay? You listen, I'm gonna make a sound. All right, what do you think that sound is? If you guessed it was snapping my fingers, then you are correct, okay? If you didn't, I'm not sure. So your sense of hearing helps you learn what's happening in the world. You enjoy music, listening to others, conversations with your family and friends. You hear the warning sounds of possible danger. And so there's lots of things that you would miss out on if you couldn't hear. And so God designed the ear with 3 main parts, okay? So we've got our outer ear, our middle ear, and our inner ear, okay? Those are the 3 main parts. Your outer ear is the part that you can feel, okay, right here. This is cartilage, okay? Your nose is also made out of cartilage, okay? And cartilage is a tissue that's neither as stiff nor as hard as bone, but it is very durable. And your outer ear catches the waves of the vibrations of sound that come, and it catches them and brings them into your inner ear, okay? Your auditory canal is the hearing, or the hearing canal. That's that little path that it travels into your ear, and sound waves go in until they reach the eardrum, and the eardrum is like a thin membrane stretched tight like a drum. Separates the outer ear from the middle ear, okay? I keep saying okay. I'm sorry, this is my last video for the night. It is 10 o'clock on Friday night, and I'm trying to finish this up. So for you guys, it's Tuesday, and it's probably like noon for you, or maybe 3 o'clock if you're taking a little bit longer today with classes, but yeah, I've been at this for a while. The eustachian tube connects the middle ear with the back of the throat and the nasal cavity, and it's usually collapsed unless you swallow, yawn, or blow your nose, and then it opens to have the same amount of pressure between the middle ear and both sides of the eardrum, okay? So you may notice air pressure changing, and you may notice this in your ears if you ride up an elevator in a tall building and go up several floors very fast, or you may notice it if you go in an airplane, or if you're driving through the mountains and you're going up one of the canyons or one of the passes. You'll feel the pressure, and if it doesn't get relieved, it causes a lot of pain. Swallowing, yawning helps. Some people chew gum to get that to open up, or eating something may help. You can try this with a balloon. When you blow up a balloon, what would happen if you continue to blow until the air pressure on the inside of the balloon is much greater than the air pressure on the outside? What happens to a balloon when it gets too much air? It pops, right? And you may not want to actually try that because you might hurt yourself when it pops in your mouth. But the same can happen with your eardrum. If there's too much pressure, on one side of it, it can cause deafness and it can rupture. Some hearing loss, some hearing is usually lost until the eardrum heals. So sometimes it can just be lost for a little bit and then it can heal and that hearing can come back. But if there's prolonged amounts of time where there's damage to your ears, then it can be permanent. In the middle ear, you have 3 tiny bones, and these are the smallest bones in the body: the hammer, the anvil, and the stirrup. And if you look at the parts of the ear, that picture, and look in the middle ear, the hammer is that little ball on the top, and then the anvil connects the hammer to the stirrup, and the stirrup looks like a stirrup, like on a saddle for a horse, okay? Inside your inner ear, you have the cochlea, which is a snail-shaped, and it's filled with liquid, and it helps when it vibrates, it will let's see, vibrations in the cochlea stimulate the auditory nerve, and then that sends messages to your brain, okay? There's also some semicircular canals in your ear, and those are for your balance. They're liquid filled, and so some detect up and down movement, some side to side, and some backward and forward, okay? And it sends those messages to your brain to help keep you balanced when you do go out of the balance. So there is a fear for children, especially, who, and there are some adults that don't heed this, but the longer that you listen to something loud, or so it's the loudness of the sound and the length of time that you listen to it can damage your ears. And if they don't give enough time to heal, the damage could be permanent. You could have partial or all hearing loss due to those things, like music. Listen at very loud, at a very loud volume level. If you were to ever go to a concert that was like a rock concert, or even country music, and I wouldn't want to go to any of those, but and then probably most of my students wouldn't either, but if you were to ever go there, you know, that's another thing that can affect your hearing. And so if you have an infection in your ears, you should see a doctor. If it's if you're feeling an infection in your ears, is very hard to treat at home. There are a couple things, if you catch it early on, that you can do, but a doctor you may need to seek a doctor if the infection is bad, and if it spreads from your middle ear to the inner ear, it can result in hearing loss. So you don't want to allow something like that to go on for days and days. But you want to be careful. You're not supposed to clean your ears with anything sharp, because you can puncture your eardrum. You should only clean as far as you can reach with a soft washcloth. If there's too much wax buildup, you should have a doctor remove it. Or I have an aunt that uses earwax candles, so if you have a parent that knows how to use those, that removes that for you, and is a good way. You want to, there's some things to make sure you don't blow your nose too hard so that you don't rupture the eardrum or cause any trouble. You can get infect bacteria into your ear by blowing it too hard, and you can also do the same thing with jumping into the water without holding your nose. So it actually says to hold your nose to prevent water and bacteria from being forced up the eustachian tube into the middle ear that could cause infection. So there's lots of things that you can watch out for with your hearing, but we want to just make sure that you're safe and that you're thinking about these things and not just doing whatever you feel like, but understanding that there are things that you can do that would be irreversible. There would be no way to come back from permanent hearing loss, and you would have to live with that. So be careful, be wise. I don't want to scare you with that. Just want you to be understanding of that. So go ahead and read those pages, do the quick check, and read 110 to 112, CCU 60, all on paper. And I will see you in the next lesson. This should be your last one for the day. So have a good evening, and we will see you tomorrow.